That's why they don't have bathrooms on the Starship Enterprise, because they have the transporters. They can just transport it directly out of your bladder.
Oh, that would be so nice.
That makes them all easy shots, though, right?
But yeah, that's what they don't tell you, is that Riker lasts the longest, and he's still like 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's something special there, though. 30 seconds in space, if you put time dilation into account, it's probably a couple years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as you're going at warp, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Probably carry it. Do they have inertial dampeners when you ejaculate? How fast does it go? Does it just stay just static? Does it just flow, like just in midair?
So if the starship is going at the speed of light and you jack off in the direction you're traveling,
which is about 60 miles an hour on top of that.
Yeah, then your jizz is going faster
than light. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that would parse.
We could cut this out, but we won't.
No, don't. Please don't.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Anime FMK, Sick Boys Forever. Everyone here is real sick, except me for now. I fucked it up. I cursed it.
Well, he's sick. I'm sleep deprived, and you're drinking coffee that is... Are you drinking the same coffee I am?
Yep.
It's literally called Death by Coffee?
Death Wish Coffee.
Death Wish Coffee.
Yep, brought in by our lovely cameraman, Tyler. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler.
Oh, nice.
He gave us a thumbs up because he knows we're going to die.
Yep, we're all going to die. We're all not in that Sylvia Plath way, okay? You're not dying the way Chloe there is dying. Fight Club reference. Hi, everybody. I'm Ben.
I'm Scott.
I'm Kieran.
We watched anime this week.
Which animes did we watch?
Which, in before the 30,000 comments saying the plural of anime is anime, Scott. It's not animes.
I did that to a guy at a party once. I was like, actually, anime is the plural for anime.
And did it work? Did you sleep with him?
I can only imagine.
That's what impresses guys, right? I don't know.
Intellectuals such as myself are turned on by such a feat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got a feet fetish too. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're all friends here. We're all anime friends. We watch anime until we all want to die by coffee. And this week we watched Garo Vanishing Line, episode 10. We switch back and forth between rescue workers cleaning up the debris in Russell City and flashbacks of Luke's childhood. Luke's father wanted to mess with some kind of poorly explained forbidden book, and Luke's mother didn't want him to, so Luke's father killed her because she was holding him back from true strength or some anime bullshit like that. But a couple of firemen rescue a girl from under some rubble, so that's good, I guess? That was this.
I mean, you got it.
That's the episode. That's it. Like, can I let this one off?
Please.
This show is begging for emotional resonance, and while there are some moments that definitely hit home, it also doesn't feel earned most of the time. I understand what it's trying to do because all these characters are very very clear cut. You know what they're about. But in that regard, if you've seen this even once before done better, here it's just falling short for me. And I hate to say that because I liked the last episode.
Yeah, last episode was real good. Kieran, how'd you feel about this one?
The same. I was basically gonna say what you said, that it's really like trying to fish a line for emotional resonance, and it's just like going out there. Hey, you feel about what about this girl? What about that guy? What, he died? Do you feel that yet? Ah, shit. Okay, Luke. What about Luke? Luke's pretty sad. You care about him yet? Like, it's really trying to reel something memorable in, but none of it really jives with me.
I think the most telling part is the time I actually felt something emotional was at the death of a character that was introduced this episode. Not Luke's mom and dad, not the little girl. Like, although I thought they were going to actually do it. I thought they were going to kill the little girl, but the bait and switch was fine. But yeah, no, I felt nothing for, like, I don't know.
So let's get some cards up. We can talk, if we have more to talk about, we can talk in Unsnipped.
Sure.
But guys, so Luke's dad is Itachi before he got retconned into being a good guy. Great.
Yes.
Kill. This show's been so up and down, and it's such a mixed bag. I cannot recommend it.
I still want to keep watching it, even though, like, here's the thing. It's still filling a lot of niches for me. It's just, I don't want this emotional resonance. I don't need it. I just want my fun action bullshit.
Kieran will remember that right there. This is so boring. I can't bother to care about anything going on now. It's really trying to pull something from the audience that it never gave us a reason to care about. So, I don't know. I can only give it so much.
Yeah, it's a frustrating show because it is capable of more than this.
Absolutely.
It has shown us
I
that.
can tell, yeah.
Yeah, but
at the very least, I can say that the art and animation in this episode was actually pretty spectacular in most parts. Like, it's presented well enough. That's not the problem.
Yeah. Its production is really good across a lot of ends. I think it's really good production, but what's there is It's a little shallow.
Also,
for me.
Luke's mom is, like, ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
So Inuyashiki, I've
Give it up.
Yep, I'm never going to get it right consistently. Speaking
okay.
of, I am the Garo of pronouncing Inuyashiki's name. I've got the potential, but I just can't get there.
The Dark Souls of pronunciation.
But let's see if Inuyashiki reaches its potential. In this episode 9, Hiro gets on Joker Vision and declares that he will kill everyone in the country. He kills 100 randos in Shinjuku. Ando believes that Hiro is using people's smartphones to kill, so he has Inuyashiki broadcast an announcement urging people not to use them. Hiro says that this will have no effect and continues killing. Then pledges to kill 1,000 the next day. Hiro dreams of moving to Hawaii with Shion and Gram, but Shion, in this, I'm guessing, dream sequence, it was kind of vague. Shion doesn't seem into it. Seems to have a problem with all the killings. I don't know, weird. The next day, Hiro crashes an airplane into downtown Tokyo. At least that's what we're led to believe. It could also have been the lady playing the YouTube video, despite the fact that you're not allowed to use personal electronics during takeoff and landing. That might have been the cause. We're just not sure.
So you should lead us off.
I like this episode. It telegraphed some stuff. Like, you know, once you start seeing these people on that airplane, it's like, guess what? These guys are fucked. I felt this is a show that deals in intentional discomfort. And as an American viewer, watching an airplane crash into a populated area, you want to talk about discomfort, yo.
Or watching a mass shooting.
Yeah, watching him just gunning people down. Everybody's, oh boy, we are back to, you know, this show has gone so back and forth with Hiro, how relatable he's supposed to be, and yeah, this is right back to, no, Hiro's a fucking monster, y'all. Deal with that.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, I think I was feeling what the show wanted me to feel.
I'm glad that it went back to he's a full-on monster. As much as I did enjoy the struggles of Hiro trying to become a man and not a monster, we all knew that this is the only way that it was going to pan out, because you don't start the series that way and then try and redeem that sort of character unless they wanted to go the full fucking route with it, which I would have been okay with. Like, I would have loved to have seen the kind of journey that could have happened from that, but I think we all wanted this deep down inside. We wanted the terrible Hiro to come back, and he's back in full force. And I'm not sure if that was a dream sequence or not. We'll talk about that more in Unsnipped. But yeah, that was the moment she pulls that out and starts showing it to the baby. I'm like, oh, show, don't do this to me. don't do this to me.
The second that we saw people, like she said, oh, I can't wait. I'm coming on the flight. I'm gonna see you. I said as we were watching it, if any show is gonna do 9/11, this show could do it. Like, and they did. I was like, you stepped up to the plate and you fucking went for it. And I appreciate the balls this show has. I really do. It's touching. Again, it is, as you said, intentional discomfort throughout everything. This entire episode is just one squirm fest after another.
Yep.
And just seeing, hey, you feel it yet? Yes, I feel it, show. And I like that it dealt with I kind of inferred at the end of the last episode that Inuyashiki was trying to, in his head, think about what the fuck can I do? And we got to see this in more form proper this episode, that yes, he is trying to figure out what to do. He just doesn't have an idea now, because what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because the second he shows up, he's going to get doxxed. Who fucking knows? Like, I totally get why he is so apprehensive right now.
Yeah, well, and Hiro is like, he's hanging out on some random rooftop, but if there's a way to track him down, I don't know what it would be. So yeah. Inuyashiki, we talked about why isn't he trying to do more? Here he's trying, and there just doesn't seem to be anything that he can do, and that frustration is palpable. And I'm ready to hold up a card.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm a fucking it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a formality.
Yep.
Yeah. Trifecta.
obligatory fuck.
I mean, obligatory. it's obligatory revealing that we want to fuck.
Yeah,
There's
yes.
nothing obligatory about my enjoyment of this show. I think it's getting a little rougher as it gears up towards the ostensible end, but not enough to turn me against it in any way, shape, or form.
Same.
But speaking of ostensible ends.
Oh man, is it this time?
Oh no, actually it's not. Crap.
okay.
I
yeah,
jumped
okay.
the gun. Speaking of, I hope this is the end. This is the end. You're not alone in this, my friend. King's Game, the animation.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Episode 10. The king orders the class to have the world's slowest foot race to the summit of Mount Silver. Transportation is not allowed, but long breaks to talk about the meaning of life and stare off into the middle distance apparently are. Some guy throws some other guy down some stairs, and that guy later falls into the ocean. Protag-kun dives in to save him, but is distracted by force ghosts. I myself envy the dead, freed by their non-existence from the obligation to watch bullshit like this. It continues to be King's Game.
Yeah, no, this is the worst episode of the show. Like, if you want my honest opinion, this is everything wrong with King's Game, in the bad way, in a single episode. Characters who act completely without thought. Characters being introduced and killed immediately with no emotional resonance. Terrible animation. Terrible storytelling. This is the worst King's Game episode, and I cannot believe we've made it here.
Yeah, Kieran?
Yeah, it's awful. The problem with King's Game is as the most vocal, like I think you and I like had the same wavelength in the middle. I would definitely agree that was like the peak of so bad it's good.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of fallen back into, okay, no, it's just terrible. It's boring. Nothing happens. As you said, people just fucking, we're in a race, but nobody has a problem just sitting there talking. And, oh, wait, she will need me to open the soda can because her nails are too long. I should go back and open it for her. You know what? Seeing this girl's rack, by the way, I was like, yeah, this is like the hentai where just nobody's allowed to fuck.
Yep.
You just can't. Not in my Christian anime.
Supposedly the animation studio has done hentai.
Apparently very good-looking hentai, too. As far as I've heard, like, the production on their hentai is actually really good. Which, it makes sense for King's Game, which is probably not going to sell any DVDs or Blu-rays, unlike their porn.
Yeah, this show's boring as fuck. It almost put me to sleep. And, oh, man.
Well, let's see if Kieran's just lulling me into a false sense of security.
I
I'll
might
start
be.
us off. Killing it. Formalities.
I mean,
God.
everyone knows that I hate this show and I want it to die.
I want it to die too, but he voted to keep Garo on. So
Motherfucking
I'm voting
no.
to kill it. I was hoping Garo would die and King's Game would like get a chance to also die and you guys could vote on it. That was my dream plan, but he ruined it, so blame him.
And
This show sucks.
And Scott and I talked in advance of this, like, you realize that we could make sure King's Game gets killed. All we have to do is vote, just agree, form a pact, and vote fuck on everything else.
But we did say we'd vote with our hearts.
Yep.
These guys are mitigating behind my backs, by the way. I had no idea about this.
And hey, you'll notice I voted kill on Garo because even though I consider Garo a better show than King's Game, it's just so aggressively middle of the road that I couldn't give it. I'd be lying to myself and everybody if I'd given it the thumbs up this week.
Nah, I fucked Garo because, again, for me, I think I need is like 2 bad episodes in a row of a show that I'm here or there on. If it's a really good show, I'll allow 2, maybe 3. But with Garo, if the next one, like, okay, that was a provisional. We'll see about next week. But for King's Game, how about we allow a 10 seconds of silence so we can mourn the loss of King's Game? Or, you know.
I don't know what we're talking about. Let's.
The kill animation.
I
You
know,
son
I'm
of a bitch.
But Scott, we might kill MMO Junkie or Ancient Magus Bride.
We might.
Okay.
Yeah, last episode, I fucking hated it.
Yeah. I can't
But-
believe they dropped the ball this badly at the end. Man.
But speaking of last episodes, so MMO Junkie, housekeeping. This is the last episode of the story, I guess. There is an episode 11, which is included as an OVA on the Japanese Blu-ray release. That is going to be shown on Crunchyroll at the normal time, so we will cover that next week. But this is clearly intended to be the end of this story. The next one, I don't know what it's going to be, some kind of Gaiden or denouement. Who knows? I will be really curious to see.
I think it's actually going to cover the other side characters,
I
which I'd be totally about. Like, I'd love to see like a little cap off to the other characters that barely got any.
I don't give a fuck about them. I hope they all die.
Well, let's see if we care about our two main characters here in episode 10. Morioka and Sakurai continue their Socksword impromptu dinner date. Sakurai shows Morioka his computer and they cook dinner together in his apartment. Sakurai tells her that he values her, both online and off, and Morioka cries big salty anime tears. After walking her home, Sakurai plucks up the courage to tell her that he'd like to continue to see her in real life. She happily agrees. The two continue their online partnership, but also meet for another real-life date, this time without much prompting by Koiwai. Morioka reflects that she'd like to become a stronger and better person so that she doesn't feel embarrassed at being seen with Sakurai. As the episode ends, Sakurai takes her hand, and they walk sockswordly forward together.
It's not a date. It's not a date.
Yeah, that's why I said not much prompting. They arrange the meeting between the two of them. Morioka dresses up as if for a date, and Koiwai shows up just long enough to go, "Hey, I heard you guys are having a date. Enjoy your date. I don't want to let you two be in denial about what this is, so have fun dating each other because that's what you're doing. I'm Koiwai, best wingman."
I felt that was obligatory Koiwai, but I don't care. Every time he shows up,
That was good.
No,
Yeah.
it was obligatory, but also necessary. They didn't need much of a push, but they still needed one extra little, like, "Hey guys, come on." And I appreciated that last little bit of Koiwai.
It was really enjoyable seeing them reflect at the end. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of romance anime in general, so maybe this is more common. But just seeing them go on to, okay, we're taking this step forward, and I'm going to do it because I want to. As you mentioned, like, I don't want to be embarrassed being with him, and I don't want him to be embarrassed being with me. And that's a very mature realization. I appreciated that, and that's kind of way to fucking go, show. You defied all expectations I thought you were gonna be. Like, I thought this was gonna be the somber love letter to being a closet nerd, and I was ready to hate it, and it was the opposite. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I feel like this is by far the feel-good anime of the season. Maybe of the year. I honestly haven't kept up with a ton of anime this year, but this one, I guess we can talk about this as the ending proper. I know we're getting an episode after this, but
Yeah.
I'll have a lot to talk about in Unsnip. But there are just so many moments in this episode that really just hit home for me. That scene, the scene in particular, the one that made me tear up was "We're looking at the same moon." Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If I haven't used that line before.
I was watching this with my girlfriend, and he says, Sakurai says, "Oh, look, the full moon is so beautiful." And right as she's saying, "That's not a full moon. Is that a translation?" No, he's talking about the moon in the real world, not the one in the game. He's telling her, "Go look out the window. Go live in the real world." Guys, let's hold up some fucking cards here.
Yeah.
Endings are so hard to do. It's something that so many shows fuck up, and this knocked it out of the park. I loved it.
This final episode was fluffy and warm.
Scott.exe is pleased, as am I. This was such a fun ride, and it defied all expectations against all odds.
Yep.
Great fucking show.
Great fucking show.
Absolutely. Consistent, I think.
I don't think there was a single episode any of us killed.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean...
There wasn't even an episode we were like, it has, like, we'll give it next week. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just consistent all throughout. 10 episodes, perfect length. I could maybe do with more, but knew what to do.
I'll be really curious to see how episode 11 winds up, but it could be just absolute garbage, and I would still recommend this show to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
It tells a complete story, beginning to end, with, like you say, just consistently high quality.
I do hope we get some more with Clerk Boy. The
Kanbei?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kanbei.
That'd be
I
cool.
do want more with him because he was the best side character outside Koiwai.
Yeah, the only one.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of consistent quality, this one hasn't been quite as consistent, but it's been consistent for quite a while. We're talking about, of course, Ancient Magus Bride. In this, the 10th episode, Chisei travels to the land of the dragons and harvests wood for her mage's wand. Lyndall tells her the story of how he met Elias long ago, when Elias wandered out of the woods with no memory. Aw shit, amnesia, anime trope. Meanwhile, back at home, Elias receives a message from a sorcerer's college wanting to speak about Chisei's future. And I feel like I say this every week. A list of stuff that happens does no justice, but...
I want to cuddle little Elias.
I was just gonna say he is so adorable. He's oh my god, Babby Elias is so cute.
The greatest tragedy is that this came about 6 months after Tiny Rick was played out. as a meme, as a joke. Oh well.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah.
Now this episode was. What do you want from me? This show is great. Everything I say is going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow, the magic's really fucking good. Wow, the characters are written really well. Oh my god, the music's so fucking good. I can only say the same thing so many fucking times. Watch this show if you're not doing it.
This episode is a little disjointed to me. I feel like the concept of bringing up Elias's past without him there is a little troublesome. But it also makes sense in the narrative where he's been conflicted about talking about these things. Mm-hmm. So we have basically his grandpa doing it, and I love that. I love that. Like he's got this daddy going around like, oh, let me tell you about when he was a kid. It was adorable. He had amnesia. He was lost in the woods. It was freezing. The master character was also very interesting. I like the gender balance that this show has got going, which makes sense, female mangaka. And I know that kind of seems like, well, what does it matter? Well, it matters to me because it's good to have that balance to make the world feel more fleshed out. Mm-hmm. I have a lot to talk about with this one in Unsnipped, and I don't feel like I could, encapsulate it all here.
Absolutely. I really like this episode. I really like that this is addressing one of the, hopes that I had for this show early on when we were still feeling back and forth was I want Chisei to know that she has a place in the world, not just with Elias, and then choose to be with Elias. And I think this was really fulfilling, the fact that she has created these relationships. She's not defined solely by her relationship with Elias. There are other people who care about her. And I think this really shows that in a really satisfying way. And I will have so much more to say in Unsnip, but for now, guys, what did you think I was gonna do? Still fucking it.
Yeah, and it's gonna it's gonna have to drop some balls because I think this has become one of the most consistent shows. It hit that point, and it's just it's incredible.
Well, even if it drops some balls, I'll still be coasting it.
All right. So, another satisfying week, lots of satisfying things, some not so satisfying things, but even then we can be satisfied that the beast is dead! We did it!
Yep.
It's
I
dead!
tried, fam. But I can't. I can only lie to myself for so long.
Yeah, this was the first week in several weeks of the last couple of weeks watching King's Game where I just couldn't enjoy myself at all. And I was like, Kieran, I was wondering what part of this episode could Kieran possibly have liked?
None.
Yeah.
None of it.
Oh my God. Why couldn't she just open the can with her thumb? What kind of
guys. We'll see you over in Unsnipped, and we will see you next week when we talk about episode 11 of MMO Junkie. We'll talk about more Magus Bride. We will talk about the penultimate episode, I believe.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yes, penultimate.
Of Inuyashiki. Wait, this was not. Yeah, second to last Inuyashiki. It's going to be a crazy week. We'll talk about some more Garo, see if that brings it back. And then 2 weeks after that, we will be coming back to bring you the season finale and do our final thoughts about all this stuff. I'm super excited.
That's when we have our wedding ceremony, right?
Yep, wedding ceremony. We're going to be doing some, I think we dubbed them the Fuck Buddies, the end of season awards.
Yeah, the fuck buddies.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. See you guys over in Unsnipped.